We are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if everyone can stand up. Right here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The meeting is being recorded. Good to go there. All right, welcome to our guest and visitor, Alyssa. Guest here today. Give us your full name, where you work, and let's see here. What you do when it's really hot and muggy like it was last weekend. All right, so we have Lucas.
Do you want me to come up there?
Yeah, sure.
That way people online can see you.
Get really close to it.
Yeah, you're good.
My name's Lucas. I work at EWL with James, coincidentally. So I teach economics. And
What you do on a super hot and muggy day.
yeah, last week was pretty brutal. So I recently bought a wok burner, like a propane wok burner outside, because I thought it would be like a nice way to cook outside. I like Thai food. But I didn't realize that even though I had a fan out there, I was just like pouring sweat while I was using it. So it's not a good idea, but it's what I did.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see here. We have Tyler, who's returning for a second meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Tyler. I'm from Unalaska, but I work with United Financial Advisors. And something I do on a hot and muggy day is probably to stay inside and sit in the AC.
Very sensible.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you for joining us again. We do also have another returning guest, Emma. Here I am.
My name is Emma. I'm a registered nurse at Mayo. I like to tell people I'm currently in limbo, starting my job because I should say licensing a little further behind than we anticipated. But yes, the waiting part as the registrar on a hot day, especially in a body of water somewhere, the lake or a pool somewhere.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us again. You probably recognize Emma because she was with us for river fencing and then has done a few times as well. All right, we do also have Rachel's little girl, Birdie. Hi, Birdie. And we have little Sawyer with us as well. Two future Rotarians, right? All right, and then we also have some visiting Rotarians from the Rotary, Steve and Monica. Could you answer the same question? Yeah.
Usually you want to come in? It seems like we've been doing a lot and the weather usually is hot and everybody knows that. My reunion was super hot and last weekend it was an outdoor retirement party that was super hot. I think we both lost about 10 pounds, but we'll gain it back. Anyway.
And I am a registered nurse working for Gunderson in the telephone nurse advisory.
I got to the office sometime.
Yes. That's all right. All right. Maybe we'll. Okay. All right, you want to introduce yourself
Very briefly, and then we'll have. And so Clara was one of our youth exchange students from Italy. Oh boy.
Which I'm going to next week.
What?
We're gonna leave next week.
Oh,
Nice. Well, yeah, my name is Clara and I stayed here for a year, a few years ago, I think it was 2017, 2018.
I know I had a great time. Yeah, I lived in Alaska, and West Salem. I went to an Alaska high school and. Okay, good. Well, we'll have you back up.
Yeah.
But we're glad you could join us. Welcome to your friends as well. Do you guys want to stand and just say what your name is? Sorry. What's your name? Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. So, as I mentioned before, we kind of have a lot to go through, so try and get through it. So hopefully we have some time for Clara to give us a life update at the end. All right, Marissa, who is joining us virtually?
We have Brandon Harris, Mandy Richardson, and Scott Yelsted. And Brandon said, hello, Clara, welcome back.
Does Scott want to introduce?
If he's there, Scott, are you on? Can you give us your full name and where you work and what you do in really hot summer days?
Scott Felsted. I work at Optum in La Crosse. And I heard someone else mention AC and hot muggy days. That seemed like the best route for me as well.
Very good. Thank
Well,
you.
welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we probably should have had this slide before, but if you're making announcements, please come up here so you're kind of in front of the owl so that people that are on Zoom can see and hear you. All right, a little membership update. We are at 54 active members, and we have a new member that was just approved last week, Rachel Frisbee. So she's been in a couple meetings. We're really excited to have you. I know you will have already jumped in. She helped with Riverfest fencing, which might be one of the worst or the hardest service events we have throughout the year, but it's also a great one. So thank you for joining us. All right, August birthdays. We have Liz Filter, August 4th, Margarita. Thought I saw you walk in. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
August
Margarita.
7th. Laura.
Happy birthday, Lauren.
And Danny Raffy is also today, my birthday.
Happy birthday, Ashley.
What? Yeah. We have Eileen on August 23rd later this month and Ben Addington August 1st. We also have some Rotary anniversaries. Brian Richardson, 5 years this month. Nikichi Ijioma, 2 years. Stephanie Doyle, I don't think she's here tonight, 2 years. Kirsten Schneider, 1 year, and Sierra, 1 year. So congratulations. We're glad you joined us. All right, service announcements. I don't know if you want to talk about any of them. We have a few coming up. Irish Fest is this weekend if you want to sign up. We have the Black Party at Trinity Lutheran next Monday. Rising in Fame of Women's Oktoberfest, which I think we're still working on potentially getting a shift at Oktoberfest, so more information to come. And then I included this, if you are on Facebook, you may have seen that Brad, who is in our club, his daughter is collecting shoes. She wants to go to Africa, so if you have any shoes that you would like to donate towards her effort, you can bring them to an upcoming club meeting, and I'm sure Brad would be happy to take them to her. What kind of shoes? I think it's any type of shoes. I'm pretty sure that.
Lightly used shoe.
Yeah, of all ages and sizes. And we can put, I think they're probably not on their Facebook, but there's some stuff on social media that we can grab and send out. So. Yeah. I'm gonna turn over to Kayla. You might know a little bit more than I do.
So we're doing the right pantry with the Mon Cultural Center on August 26th and September 16th. It's 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. It's a Friday. Basically, it's a monthly
service that they provide to the Hmong community where members can come to the center, pick up a 25-pound bag of rice. Plus there is, I think, fresh produce from Wafer or possibly Hunter Task Force, one of those places. So it's just a couple hours, feed a couple of strong hands to help load the rice. But it's something that they've been providing since the start of COVID, and it really relies on volunteers. So if you're able to come, please join us. Thanks, Caitlin. All right, save the date. So you may have received the email. Part of our Shark Tank this year, our money went towards Sleep and Heavenly Peace, which is building beds for kids in need. We also got the district grant, so in total, we have $10,000 to help build beds. I can't remember off the top of my head how many beds. I think it's 40 that will build that day. We need about 50 volunteers.
How many?
So 50, I believe.
50?
50.
Tell your friend.
I think it's open to the community. Anyone, family members, friends can come. Saturday, September 10th, 9 to noon at Timmer's 10-mile pub. And lunch is included, is what I understand. They also have a group in the afternoon building beds as well. And then mini masters, more information will be coming, but Thursday, September 22nd at Riverside Amusement. And I know you both have lots of food, but I'm going to invite our guests, Monica and Steve, to come up and talk about an event coming up in the Rotary Club.
Play that video. Riley.
James.
Yep.
Sorry, Becky. I might have to do it on my
If you're,
end.
if you're joining us online, you may or may not be able to hear the video, but there's a link in the chat and check that out.
James, do you think I have to play it on my end in order to
No,
hear it in this?
But we're not, but then it won't be up here. I don't know if I did it right or the best way or not. Come on.
In all fairness, this was the last minute thing for him to fill out. Okay, sweet.
See that. Yes, so the ride is this weekend already. I know it's short notice, but some people like us are good under pressure, but it is a ride that benefits the La Crescent Rotary Club. And thank you WXLW for putting that ad together. And the ride has been going on for about almost 10 years. The benefits do help the Rotary Club, and they also help two nonprofits. The first one is the Aaron Dunlap Matthews Scholarship Foundation. And if you all know Aaron or Sean and Michelle Dunlap lost their daughter to a heart embolism about 4 years ago. And so they created a scholarship program at Gunderson for nursing students. And it also benefits Living for Liz. And that is a nonprofit that my husband and I are co-founders of. It's to honor our daughter who lost her life to lung cancer in 2012 at the age of 25. So, and she was in the medical field as well. She wanted us to start a foundation to raise awareness and funds for research. So that's where the money goes and, it's a really fun ride. It's like the best kept secret in the entire country. This area has the best bike routes, probably in the entire country, Minnesota, Wisconsin,
Especially
Iowa.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
The bike-
So it's for all ages. There's about 4 or 5 different rides. You can still sign up. It starts this Saturday, 7:30, bikes take off by 8. And we usually go till about noon if you're, whatever level you are. Some don't come in until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But there's a family ride, and for 5 miles all the way up to about a 60-mile ride. So it's very well established, and if you're interested, I did hand out cards, but go to appleblossomtour.org or our Apple Blossom Bike Tour Facebook page to sign up. We really appreciate the support, and the weather's going to be fantastic. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think you pretty much handled all.
Yeah,
These are the same roads that Greg Lamont used to train on. So, and
Yeah,
he was with
he
us
just-
for one of the rides.
Yeah.
So, do come out and support that, and, you know, you're gonna have a great day for doing some great riding as well.
thank you for having us. Yes.
About, if there's inexperienced bikers, there are a lot of homes or
There's a number of different routes. I think if you saw it on the commercial there, and it's in the brochure, there's like a 5 mile, an 8 mile, a 10 mile.
But
And
yes,
there are some that are quite hilly.
yes.
Those for the 60-milers that enjoy that type of thing.
like a 16-mile would be something for beginning biker.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so. Yes.
60
There
miles.
are stations along the way for water and refreshments and food. And food, yep.
Yes.
And then there's a great lunch at the end
Yeah.
that you,
Sponsor from the Think for Liz, a lunch at the end, pulled pork sandwiches with all the works. Part of your registration fee.
so come on out.
Yes,
Make a comment.
yes.
I'm a cyclist and I've done this ride 2-3 times in the past. It really is awesome. If you do some other bike events, it's more better supported. That's how you're supposed to do it, right? It is a well-supported ride. That is the food and stuff and the drinks that you have intermittently throughout the course. It's one of the better ones I've done. If you're a beginner, there's the 5-mile family route. And then there's the 16-mile route, which is a little bit more serious, but something that I think a beginner could still do. And then, yeah, 31, 54, 61, climbing between 1 and like 3 bluffs. And I've done most. It's awesome. It really is an awesome event here in La Crosse that is underappreciated.
We used to have a 100-mile route, but
You did, I did it.
the person, one of the people came in at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We weren't gonna stick around any longer. We took that up.
Well, thank you. for
Second time I know.
Talking about it, sounds like a great event, and we will try and get it up on our Facebook and achieve that. Thank you. Great. Social announcements, just a reminder, Avenues of Service is next Tuesday. You had to already have registered, but for those that did register, just a reminder. Moon Tunes Meet the Youth Exchange student. So I think we've mentioned that we have an exchange student coming from Japan, Mari. He is arriving tomorrow night at 10 p.m. He and all the other exchange students from the area will be at Moon Tunes on Thursday, August 25th. Everyone is invited to come say hi, introduce yourselves and meet our new students. And then we have Ladies and Guys Night. August 26th. Do you want to speak about that?
I'll speak about it, yes. So the girls actually have something. Hopefully guys are still figuring it out. But we are gonna have it at my parents' house. It's on the Black River, so we can swim. There's kayaks, there's a hot tub. So like order pizza, bring your own drinks. It's gonna be super fun. There's a Facebook event, so if you're planning to come, please respond to that. Same thing for the guys' night, but no plan.
We are currently working on a plan. It was kind of sprung on me to host everyone, so I just want to say that. we are going to do a blind whiskey tasting, so we're gonna figure out whether or not, if you are a whiskey connoisseur, if you actually know what you're talking about. So we'll have like 4 brown bag whiskeys, and you're gonna figure out which one's the best one, rate it from there. I'm trying to figure out if there's another thing we're going to do besides that, keep it safe, we don't have kayaking or hot tubs. But I'm trying to get us a location besides my house, that we might do it at a restaurant that's currently closed up. Be kind of fun to do, so just a different little atmosphere. Plus, I think that night they do have a couple good preseason football games, so we're gonna work on a couple things there.
Very good. Well, thank you both for planning and hosting.
One second.
With Brian.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Sarah, did your mom and dad know we're coming to your house? Okay, because if they didn't, they did after they saw me. I was like, you probably just like ratted her out. Like, okay.
Sierra, do you want to mention the Phil thing as well?
Yes, Phil is having a surgery. I can't remember what it's for. It's been spot. So it's a really big deal. He's gonna have about a month long recovery. So there's a meal train set up for him. It's on the Facebook page. You can bring him one meal, you can order take off to his place, you can bring him something to like eat all night. But there's a sign up that says we like, you know. It's at the end of August.
And if you're not on Facebook, feel free to reach out to me or Sierra and we can get you the links. All right, Marissa. Sure.
Okay, so we have Avenues of Service next Tuesday evening. We submitted 3 projects. It's a good problem and not a great problem for us, but the 3 that we submitted are book donation drive for Afghan refugees that Dustin led, the Boys and Girls Club Family Night, Feed the Kids, and then the sponsorship of the Girl Lacrosse. None of them were selected. There was some really, really outstanding projects that happened in the last year, and they only choose one for each category. So none of those got selected, but those are the ones that we submitted. We also, it's a night next week that will recognize the area Rotarians of the Year. And at this time, I would like to recognize our 2021-2022 Rotarian of the Year, Caitlin Doyle. Caitlin was also our Rising Star nominee, which each club submits a nominee. The Holmans were Rising Star winners a few years ago, if I recall. And there's one Rising Star chosen among all the clubs. But I just want to share a little bit about Caitlin and the impact she has to Rotary. I'll get emotional. Geez, pull it together. Okay, as a 2nd generation Rotarian, a 3-year member of RA, she joined us in 2019. She's a consecutive board director and the chair of our service committee. Caitlin brings so much value to Rotary After Hours. She led our service committee and continues to do so to provide an increasing number of variety of service opportunities for our members over the past few years. She not only coordinates these community impacting events, but you almost always see her there participating. She's worked with various community groups to bring variety to our service events, including a few that we were even paid for, including Oktoberfest, Airfest, and Country Boom. This allowed our club to do even more through service and sponsorship by putting it back into the community through the Adopt a Family she coordinated at Christmas, and wrapping of gifts we purchased for our sponsored families, and also sponsoring a Girl Lacrosse plant sale. She's a very active member of our club, attending most fall programs here tonight, social and service events. She hosts board meetings at her house and always goes above and beyond to be the hostess with the mostest. She also helped pitch a 2022 Shark Tank pitch benefiting the Cooley Region Humane Society. Most recently, she wrote a District 6250 grant application on behalf of our club, in which we received $1,000 to put together a membership recruitment video. She's done all of the legwork behind that to help find and meet with the videographer, coordinating times for her to come, and corralling club members to record individual videos. She's not only involved in Rotary, but she's an active member on several community committees and boards, including Women's Fund Development Committee, Habitat for Humanity Board of Directors, the Cooley Region Humane Society Board of Directors, and the La Crosse Community Foundation Impact Committee. Most importantly, Caitlin lives out the 4-way test and all the things she thinks, says, and does. She's friendly, she's welcoming, and someone we all love to have around. Caitlin even recruited little sister Stephanie to join us as well. Ra is lucky to have Caitlin as a member of our club and board, and we are grateful for her service and leadership. Caitlin, thank you for all you do for our club. Everybody, please join me in congratulating Caitlin Doyle, our 2021-2022 Rotarian of the Year and Rising Star nominee. So again, all of the area Rotarians of the year will get recognized and she'll officially get a pin at Tuesday next week. So we're excited for that and to recognize all the good work that the clubs do. Thank you. And thank you, Caitlin. You really do go above and beyond. I don't know that everyone sees all that we do, but I know that there's a lot of work that goes into it. So thank you.
Sorry, don't mind me.
All right, are there any other announcements that we need to make? Okay, we will move on to tonight's program. Typically we kind of do this at the beginning of the year, we're a little late, but here we are. So the Rotary theme for this year is Imagine Rotary. I wanted to introduce our Rotary International President, Jennifer Jones. She is from Ontario, Canada. She has her own media company, and she has been very successful, very involved in Rotary. Something that is quite awesome is that she is the first female president in Rotary, which has been around for 115 years. So she is definitely force in Rotary. She is helped with their COVID-19 relief telethon. She is she's co-chair of their End Polio Now, which is aiming to raise $150 million towards polio eradication efforts. She's very involved in all levels of Rotary, so she will be a great leader. So the presidential theme, as I mentioned, is Imagine Rotary. Jennifer said, we all have dreams, but acting on them is a choice. Imagine a world that deserves our best, where we can get up each day knowing that we make a difference. So a little bit about this image. When you look at it, it looks kind of boring. There's not a lot of meaning, but she had it designed by an Australian Indigenous artist to link it to the Melbourne Convention in 2023. So there's some meaning behind it. So symbolically, the circle in the middle is the connections to one another. The dots around it are the different people that are part of Rotary. And there's 7 dots because there's 7 areas of focus, which you can see at the bottom. The green line is referred to a digging stick and is used when doing hard work. Since Rotary members are people of action, it represents a tool for getting things done. The circle with the dots around it are our navigation, which is our guiding star in Rotary. And she also mentioned that she imagines a Rotary where members act to make their dreams become a reality, and they make the most of their club experiences. She urges members to engage more with each other, and they use these connections to build partnerships that change the world. Also, the colors, purple, green, and white, are to celebrate diversity, equity, inclusion. Together, they are colors of the women's movement, which is a subtle nod to the history. This joins is our first female president. Purple is for polio. You may recognize that. The painting your pinky purple and stuff is all for Rotary. Green for the environment, and white is for peace. So I feel like although it's a very simple message, there is a lot behind it. So I want to encourage you all this year to dream big, whether it's a local project, an international project. I encourage you to get involved in committees and make impact. I know in the spring we'll be doing Shark Tank again.
So right now is a good time to start thinking about what project you might want to pitch to our club for the $5,000 with the additional 5,000 from the district, so. All right, so we are going to do some committee brief updates, just, we have a lot of new members. There's been a lot of different things going on, so I am going to kind of, we'll go through these, just a minute or two, summary of what's happening on each committee. Does anyone have any questions? All right, Marissa.
Okay, so the public image committee is really put in place to tell Rotary story. We are really, really bad at telling Rotary story. We're humble people, we don't share it well. And that's why we have to help tell the story, not just our committee, but everybody. So our team is doing all the social media posting that you see on Facebook, Instagram. You go to YouTube, we have a YouTube channel, all of our meetings are recorded on there. You can see it, we do have a LinkedIn page. And those are all of the social media outlets. But besides that, we also work with the local media outlets, Channel 8, Channel 19, the Tribune, all the various ones. You can see I tried to do a snapshot of every picture that has one significance. We worked with Channel 19 to get the news there for Ugly Sweater, to tell our story of our Ugly Sweater run that allows us to raise money to put back into the community through our projects. We have our Instagram and sharing the friendly faces in our club so that it's inviting for other people to want to come. I shared this one, this Facebook post, and I circled at the bottom because you guys, there was 10,572 people that this Facebook post reached a couple weeks ago. And it was because there were so many people sharing it. And that's part of the magic of Facebook, and the key of it is sharing it. There was 39 shares. We had 10,000 people that it reached, and it was because of the shares. Like, this is our top one. And yes, granted, we take all the area Rotary clubs, but that just goes to show you how powerful people might start questioning what is Rotary if we start to share more. We have our website. If you go to rotaryafterhours.org, it's all kept up to date. All the events should be in there. If you ever have a question on what's happening, when, where, go there. It's kept up to date. And then lastly, if you know me, I usually try to hide behind the camera. And so putting a picture up here gave me heartburn of myself. But there's 66% of our members in this picture wearing Rotary After Hours apparel. And you can't tell me if somebody's downtown watching us setting up fencing and they see us wearing a Rotary After Hours shirt, that they're like, hey, what is that about? So when you're out doing service, when you're out doing social, wear your Rotary or pride, because people will start to question, and maybe they'll want to come join us, because the more we have, the more we tell our story, the greater impact we can make. We always need more people to help write Chronicle articles. I went on a little hiatus for a couple months, but we're back thanks to some other people helping out with that. We need people to help write Chronicle articles. I always need people to take pictures for our social media posts. If you ever have any ideas, send them our way, because we need them.
Thank you, Marissa. And Marissa, you've done an awesome job, I think, elevating our social media over the last few years. I went to PETS this spring, which is for president's training, and they were like blown away by some of just the small things, like posting our meeting ahead of time so people know what we're doing and to come and stuff like that. And I know some of them have started following us, and they've commented like, your club looks like a lot of fun. So thank you for all your work. I know. Service, Caitlin.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm the chair of the service committee, for any of our guests or our, new members. The service committee tries to host, one or two service events, each month. I personally joined Rotary because I wanted to feel like I was making an impact in the community, and service events are a good way to do it in a hands-on way. Obviously, raising and collecting money is also awesome, but as younger people
starting off in our careers, sometimes we're a little short of that. So going out and doing, physical labor or, meeting with groups in the area to help them with their mission, is always really awesome. Ashley has some pictures of some events that we do. We typically do highway cleanup 3 times a year, get out to Hickson to clean up invasive species on the bluff. Riverfest fencing, we do the Memorial Day flags, kind of anything. So I have been very bad at delegating. I inherited this from Laura.
Sure did.
But I promised Ashley that I will get a more involved committee. So we will be meeting on the 4th Tuesday of the month before this meeting at 5:45 to discuss new service ideas and to get members more involved. So be on the lookout for an email from me asking if you are interested in joining the service committee and taking more of a hands-on approach to that. Anything else? Any questions? Okay. Good. Thank you, Taylor. Again, thank you for all that you do with that. It's a lot of work to organize volunteers and set them up and send out emails. So we appreciate it, but hopefully we can build up some of our committees to take that burden off one or just 2 people. Also, really quickly, there's still a lot of food over there, so feel free to get up and help yourself. There's cupcakes there, so help yourself. Feel free to get up if you need anything. Programs and social. So Steph Klein is a member of our club. She can't always make it due to some job things, but she is our chair for the programs and social committee. As you can see, they kind of help set up meeting programs. So they work with me to figure out who we should have come present. And then also she does our social. So things like when we go to trying to think what we've done recently. The Loggers game, and we've gone to Moxie's and sat out on their patio, and boy, she does them all the time, and now I'm totally blanking, but she does a lot of really fun things. So that's a great committee. She, I don't think has any meetings set up, but is planning to set up a meeting on Zoom. So if you're interested in joining the committee, you can reach out to Steph or myself, and I can help connect you. She's looking to help get some new ideas. So I know she's always kind of trying to come up with new things. So she would love some people to help with that. Membership, Alyssa.
All right, I am the chair of the membership committee. What the membership committee typically does is we help to keep our membership engaged in the club and active, and also welcoming in new members and kind of seeking out some new members who would fit really well with our club. We do this typically by hosting a membership month is what we started last year, where it does some kind of event where we welcome in prospective members and then help get new existing members re-engaged. We'll do a vocational, and then we also do a service activity for that month, really to help break up the wintertime blues and get everybody kind of back together and ready to go for the year. We also do some other events throughout the year, including the Rock the Year party at the end of the Rotary year, which just happened. And we're working on getting new ideas going on what we can do to make sure everybody feels welcome and engaged. Oh, we also meet after the 4th meeting of the second meeting of every month, which is the 4th week. Always confusing.
Very good. Thank you, Alyssa. I know you took over from Morgan, and she has jumped in and done a great job helping onboard our new members. And I don't know if you mentioned this, but we kind of started a mentorship program. So for new members, so they can help have somebody that fits them, like a kind of a friendly face that they can ask questions to, or join them at different events. So we started that up. So if you're interested in being a mentor too, you can reach out to Alyssa. Okay, very good. So thank you. And I should add, Neil is now a co-chair of membership, and Brad is a co-chair of service. So Foundation. Here.
All right, so Foundation Committee, we do local and international projects and fundraising. So locally in the last couple of years, we have the Shark Tank, right? So Shark Tank, it's just like the TV show. You do a pitch about a project, the club votes on it, and that's when we decide what we use money that we fundraise for. So when this last, or I guess 2 years ago, maybe, 2 Shark Tanks ago, we had the Good Fight Van. We've done the Hickson Forest maintenance, so it's just all about deciding how we're gonna use our money. And then internationally, we have the Pint Portfolio, which we do with the social committee. So we did Pint Portfolio this last year at Turtle Stack Brewery, so that was a fundraiser. And then we have done global grants as well. So that's one of the big things that we're working on right now, is the global grant. We're in the very early stages. But we're looking at doing a water project in Colombia. So in the past, we've done water projects in Mexico. We've done the Women's Health Project in Nicaragua. And lots of different stuff like that. So if you want to be involved with that, we are in the early stages. It's a good time to get involved. And then we also are working on doing a fundraiser. We were thinking this fall, but now we're going to do it this spring, called Alpaca Pancakes. So it's at the Doyle's farm. They have alpacas. There's going to be pancakes. It's going to be super fun. So if you want to be involved in the committee for that, we are just, again, in the early stages of planning. But really, any ideas you have for fundraisers or things you want to do with money that we fundraise as a club, this is a good way to get involved and like be involved in that decision making. And if you like planning events, I'm always open to more ideas and more events. So, yeah. Any questions?
Thank you, Sarah, and I know you as well have kind of recently taken over the foundation committee. It kind of was a little bit on a hiatus, I would say, maybe for the last year or so, but you have picked it up and ran with it. She's been looking at different international projects, and you've started up regular meetings, so you're meeting
Oh, yes.
the fourth Monday.
Fourth Monday at 5 o'clock on Zoom, but we're gonna try to do like 4 meetings.
Perfect. And I do have all of the meetings kind of on the slides later on, and you're welcome to check out any meeting at any time. You don't have to join just because you go to one meeting, but it's a great way to get to know people, work with things, use skills that you already have or that you're trying to develop. I think there's a lot of great ways, great benefits of being part of a committee. Mini masters, again, well, I should turn it over to Bill, but that was bringing it on you. But mini masters is our fundraiser. We have not had it the last 2 years due to COVID. It is coming up Thursday. September 22nd.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You should collect royalty.
But Mini Masters is a fun mini golf event at Riverside Amusement. It raises money for our youth exchange program. There are like $4,000 to $5,000 costs that we have for a youth exchange program. I encourage you to attend the event or help with sponsorships. It's really a fun night that I think a lot of our club members usually try and get a team or are there in some way, shape, or form. Ugly sweater. Damn.
Hi, everybody. I've taken over many of the leadership responsibilities of the Ugly Sweater Run since Ashley. Since Ashley's been busy lately with other stuff, I guess. But the purpose is to raise funds for our club. It is our club's biggest fundraiser. Accomplishments in 2021, I think that was the most successful year we've ever had, and we had lots of accomplishments. Not only is it the biggest fundraiser of our club in 2021, it was our biggest fundraiser, I think, ever. We were budgeting, hoping to raise $8,300. I looked in the budget and we raised $17,000 after expenses. Coming back after COVID, we had more than 500 participants. There was a race at the Y that I really like the very next week, and there was nothing near it. And a lot of races have been struggling, a lot of running races, 5Ks have been struggling. And for some reason, we weren't. The community really does love this event. We also had a record number of volunteers. In fact, I got feedback that we had too many community volunteers. If I replicate that mistake, I'm not gonna apologize for it. And then we had, and this has never happened before, so, sorry, what we do every single time, this race takes place along the marsh trails. It goes from Myrick Park Center to Riverside Park, when the Rotary lights are alike. And so it's a 3 mile run along the river trails. And we hang Christmas lights for 2.5 miles of those trails, just continuous alongside. And what has never happened before, where every single light is lit during the event. Not a single strand was burnt out. So thank you to Brandon and Brad and Neil for that amazing accomplishment. So our goal for 22-23, really the event is going to be December 3rd, 2022. This is my reach goal, is just to repeat the success of last year. I'm kind of new. I am kind of new to taking over some of these leadership responsibilities. So if we can get, somewhere close to what we did in 2021, that would be just fine with me. We're going to try to do a little bit more to build community connections. Brad, Brandon, and Neil are working on making a float for the Rotary Lights Parade and the Thanksgiving Torchlight Parade. Oktoberfest, yeah. The Torchlight Parade for Oktoberfest. So we hope to light up downtown on the north side. Holiday cheer also. The way you can get involved, we do have a committee. I sent out an email to the whole club and they get a whole lot of response. That's okay. We don't need everybody to join the committee. If you want to start doing work right now, we have work to do right now. If that's not your thing, I will be putting out a call and putting on pressure for people to volunteer December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The event's on the 3rd, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We need volunteers during those days to make the event a success. And there's a handful of people that put in 12, 15-hour days each one of those 3 days to make the event possible. So we could definitely use everyone's help. It's really what makes everything possible that we paid.
James,
Yes.
do you have all the generators?
Probably not. We own one, and I think we have a lead on others.
You guys.
Yeah.
We own one.
You need more?
We have a lead on others. Maybe, definitely maybe, but you have a lead on others. So I will do that. Other questions? All right, thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you. I'm sure you will do this an awesome job. I'm not worried about it at all. It's in good hands. We have a really great committee, so it's a fun event to get involved in. James has definitely taken the reins. Even last year, like I said, he got like way too many volunteers, but it was a good thing. It was great.
Good problem.
So, yeah, there's worse problems.
Still better problem.
It worked out. All right, so I was gonna do a youth protection training. I know it sounds super exciting. It's why everyone came tonight, but in the interest of everyone's time, I'm gonna skip it and we'll get it in somewhere else, or I will record something. Really quickly though, here are all the committees. I did not have a slide for youth committee. We do have a youth committee. We meet third Tuesday of the month. We do mostly youth exchange. So we have our youth exchange student coming tomorrow night, 10 p.m. at the La Crosse Airport. If anyone wants to show up, you're welcome to. I meant to bring a piece of tag board to do a welcome sign.
Larry gave John and Missy a duo. They have homework to make for a sign.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I failed. I'm so sorry. It was there in my brain at full speed and I forgot. So Larry and Missy are the first host family, so thank you for doing that. They were being great hands. Their son also went to Japan on youth exchange. So Mari will have somebody that she can for home.
Also actually, so we got, Mari's cell phone hooked up this weekend. She's not logged into the phone at this time, so I'm not putting out the phone number until she actually has the phone, because I don't know if the text will stick. So once we know that she's gotten into the phone, I will paste that phone number, and then if we can try and like wait a couple of days before everybody just bombards her with, hi, I'm so-and-so, text messages, that would be great. But I'll post that in our Facebook group once we know that she's in the phone and it's.
But if we could get there tomorrow night, that'd be a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, to have some of us there when she gets off the plane, I'm sitting there talking to Clara and her friends. And a few years ago, that was her. You know, when you get off the airplane, you come from your family, you come from what you know, and you're standing in front of all these goobery old. Larry, you're not fat people like me standing there. It's right, and so the more we can be there to support Mari as she gets on her adventure, the better. So if you have a couple of minutes tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, way past my bedtime, and I'll still find a way to get there if I can. Please be there tomorrow. Welcome her to the United States for a New Year.
And very quickly, background check, we're pushing those. I'm sorry if anyone has gone through the process. It has changed. So it is no longer just to like fill out the form and they are like, yeah, you're good. There's some training and references and stuff like that. So
Blood samples,
I apologize.
fingerprinting, all that.
yeah, I apologize. It is a bit of a process, but my understanding is that process is 4 years, but you just have to do the like actual update every year.
Yeah, I mean, so. Yeah, it's a pain in the tush, right? There's no doubt it's a pain in the tush. I'm gonna be, Laura's got a kid back there, right? I have 2 daughters. I would want nothing less than to make sure that if my daughter was coming here, that everything was copacetic. Right, that everything was background checked and checked up. So the State Department requires a little bit more than we used to do. Every 4 years, you gotta go through an application and you get interviewed. Well, right, you go through it every 4 years, and then every year afterwards, you're gonna renew that stuff, make sure you're not, make sure that anyone in this room is not on a sex offender list. And the criminal list, right? Leave right away. Okay, that's what we're doing every year, right? But it makes sense when you think about it. Today's world, we just want to make sure that everyone that is coming in one-on-one contact with our exchange students, whether it's Mari coming here or my daughter or grandkids going out, have that level of protection to make sure that in this world, they're just gonna be okay. It's a little bit more of a breakdown. Don't worry about it, you'll get.
If you Rotarians, you, take a spirit somewhere, does one of those not? 2, then it's fine.
Yeah.
As long as it's those, you're fine. As long as it's 2, you're fine.
And it doesn't even have to be 2 Rotarians.
Doesn't mean it's Rotarian.
So like, if
Yeah.
you and a friend wanted to go, it was this speech.
So if you're one-on-one.
So just something to think about if you want to either give her a ride to a Rotary meeting or to go do something with her. I know Eugene went ice fishing with, I think, one of our Rotarians, stuff like that. You'll need to get a background check. But if you don't plan on doing any of that and you're gonna do group activities, you technically don't need one, but the more people that we have background checks, the better. There's no cost to you. It's just some time, so.
Just a little bit of a pain in the tush. A little bit of a pain.
But, this and I are, investors, so, your youth and your ability to get Mari involved in other things, if you love soccer, you're gonna go up to see a, soccer match somewhere, and you wanna bring Mari, it also helps the host family to occasionally have just a, even a day where you don't have to worry so much about what's going on with Mari's programming, so just use your own interests. If you vote on Mississippi, invite her to go voting. She wants to travel and she loves sports. Are the 2 things that she's really emphasized, especially Laurel Eagles Wilder. If any of you know about happening in Wisconsin, or you want to, we need to help her go to some of those sites. So So we really appreciate some extra help, and we would also like to have you over. So you can meet her and have a little more intimate time with her. Whenever it works for you, if you just want to come on. You know, have some wine on the porch and meet her, whatever it is, we want an open door policy to make sure as many of them as possible are getting, make good connections.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, again, for allowing people to come into your house. But I'm sure there will be some communication to you coming when she gets here, gets settled in, but just something to keep in mind, so. I'm sorry we are over, but Clara, I want you to be able to give a little update on your life. So I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Hi. But we did a little like update a few months ago. I don't know if some of you were on the Zoom meeting. So well, I just graduated like a couple weeks ago. I studied Dramatic and International Sciences, and I think I will keep studying, doing a master, but I don't know exactly what. I think it will be something about human rights, but I'm not sure, and I'm pretty sure I won't like study in Italy anymore, but I don't know where, so I still have to figure that. So yeah, I came here. Well, I play ultimate frisbee now, and I was in Cincinnati with my friends. They played with me, and we played at the World Championship. Well, I ended up not playing because I broke my ACL a few months ago. So I ended up not playing, but that was the plan. And now we're just traveling a little bit. We flew to Denver and we rented a van over there, and then today Yellowstone Park, and camped there for a little bit, and then we came over here to visit and say hi. And now we're just gonna go to Chicago and then spend a few days in Boston before going back to Italy. I don't know. Anyone have any questions? I don't know.
What do you miss about Wisconsin?
Oh, well. No, I miss like my friends and my families. Yesterday night when we arrived, it was so weird to like go back to like, because now I'm staying with one of the families that husband me when I was here, and I was like super excited, and when I went back in the house, it was like full of memories and started with my little siblings, and I don't know, it was really. No, I'm with Candice and Ty,
okay.
yeah, but yeah, I think just like the life that I had here with like, and then like today I went back to Alaska High School and I showed them around, and it was, I don't know, it's just like the life I had here. I don't know, really nice, and I think I missed that.
I have a question. So we have a youth exchange student coming.
Mhm.
Do you remember, like, when you arrived, like, what was scary or what might our club do to help our students feel more comfortable, or things that you liked or didn't like?
I don't know, I think it was like all of you were super nice to me. I was super tired when I arrived here, and well, I remember that Bill was like texting me the whole time. So it was, I already knew him before I got here, so when I got here, he was like, okay, hi. But I don't know, I feel like the club was always like very pleasant to me, so I didn't really have any problems like fitting and I don't know, feel like good. So I don't know. I feel like all the people here were always very, very interested in getting to know me. I don't know, even when they like picked me up from like the house to just come to the meetings and stuff. They were always like super nice and asked me so many questions. So I don't know. I feel like the suggestion is just to, I don't know, like be interested in the person that you're meeting, and that's just gonna feel like very, very nice, and I'm sure she's gonna be excited to like tell you about herself and about the country and everything.
Was there anything that you like loved when you were here, or like an activity that you did that you enjoyed, or food, or anything that you miss?
Well, yeah, sure. I don't know. I mean, the food, like burgers, like all stuff that we don't have in, we have, but not as good as here. Like here, are, like bigger and I don't know, like full of stuff that we don't really have. About food, I don't know, but activities, I feel like all the ugly sweater they were talking before, that was really fun. I was selling them. I remember that the mini golf was super fun because it was like the first activity that we did, and the other exchange student from the area was here. Were at the mini master. I think maybe at the beginning, like activities with the other students were a lot easier because when there are a lot other students, you feel like better. It's easier to like talk to them instead of like talk to other people. And I don't know, Bill told me that she doesn't really like speak like very fluent English. So maybe at the beginning it might be hard for her to like get involved. But activities like the mini golf or stuff like that might be cool for her. I don't know.
Any other questions? Well, thank you for coming.
And I really enjoyed my year over here, so it was fun to come here and see all of you. And
Are you gonna be around for a few minutes?
yeah,
Okay. I will, we're almost done, you guys. Next meeting, 2 weeks from tonight, August 23rd. It will be here. We have vocationals from Margarita, Cullen, and Larry. So that will be exciting. And then, first meeting in September, you will be hearing from Mari, so. All right, so stand for the 5-way test. Here, so of all the things you think, say it and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it be goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial? Eight. Yeah, pizza, cupcakes, to take it. I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Last, like. I'll plan on getting there by like 9:30 roughly, because like that's. They say 9:56, but. Yeah. Yeah.